A firm can follow several paths to learn about its marginal cost. It can and should design accounting systems to measure carefully cost and changes in them as output varies and input prices and technology are constant. You should listen to production managers. Ask them how much more output they could produce if their budget increases by a certain amount of money. You can look at historical data and use statistics to estimate marginal cost. You can identify if and how average variable cost or average total cost change as output increases. Marginal cost equals average total cost if and only if average total cost is constant. Marginal cost is greater than average total cost if and only if average total cost increases, and marginal cost is less than average total cost if and only if average total cost decreases. These relationships hold for marginal cost and average variable cost as well. Marginal cost equals average variable cost if and only if average variable cost is constant. Marginal cost is greater than average variable cost if and only if average variable cost increases, and marginal cost is less than average variable cost if and only if average variable cost decreases. So if I know whether average variable cost or average total cost is constant, increasing, or decreasing, I know something about marginal cost. Learn what's happening to your input prices and marginal productivity. Marginal cost rises as input prices rise. Marginal cost falls as the extra output produced by an input increases. A firm can learn about its price elasticity demand through several paths. Listen to your customers. Hear what they are thinking, not necessarily what they are saying. They may tell you they're very price sensitive, but if you ask them what they paid the last time they purchased your product or a competitor's product, and they don't know, or their number is way, way off, that's an indication they may not be paying that much attention to price. Listen to your sales reps. These are eyes, they have eyes on the consumers and are usually pretty adept at figuring out what's motivating consumers and what's not motivating consumers. Analyze what's happened in the past. Just use historical data. Track what happens when you're in specials. Track what happens when you're in coupons. Keep very close track of what people do with their valued customer cards. And hire a bunch of really good statisticians or economists to tease out and identify how a change in price, all else equal, is affecting your quantity sold. You can run a survey and conjoint analysis. You can run an experiment. Have two otherwise similar markets, have set up high price in one and low price in the other, and see what the differences are. The key there is to make sure that two markets are otherwise similar and that your results are not confounded by things like layoffs in one of the areas or unusual growth in one of the areas or other things that are affecting your sales that make the two regions not good comparisons. You can use existing estimates. The elasticity for a firm or the elasticity for a firm's product is the elasticity for the product in general divided by the firm's market share. And there's all sorts of studies that estimate elasticity for a general product: eggs, healthcare, rice, housing, beef, restaurant meals, Mountain Dew. I think these all come from the Frobe text. If you have 10% of the egg market and the overall elasticity is 0.1, that means your elasticity is going to be 1 or actually -1. These are absolute values. So the absolute value of your elasticity would be 0.1 divided by 10%, which is 1. And finally, just think a little bit. How do your products compare with products sold by competitors or other products you sell? If they're very similar, that's going to imply that your price elasticity is going to be that your the demand for your product is going to be pretty elastic. If you've got a very distinct product, That gives you a chance that the demand for your product is fairly inelastic.